That goes to the point of the multitude of Aboriginal organisations already. We know native title groups, land councils, there's specific Aboriginal health bodies. How do they all fit in with the voice? I mean, presumably, because it's entrenched in the Constitution, the voice has primacy.
It will. I'll tell you what will happen. The delegates will not be elected, they'll be selected. So there'll be an almighty bun fight within 35 regions as to who's the biggest beast and gets to nominate a national delegate. And then that national delegate, because they're not elected, they will look after their own organisation. So that's the bun fight, right? It'll mainly be won by people who run Aboriginal controlled health services because they're the biggest employer of Aboriginals in Australia. They will get to be the new cabinet, if you like, the Aboriginal cabinet, and guess what they'll lobby for? More money for their interests. I mean, it's pretty obvious, it'd be silly not to do that. So they won't even represent Aboriginal voices, they'll represent a subset of Aboriginal voices. And I can tell you, because I've spoken to a number of people recently, native title holders especially, those more in remote areas, will be left out of the equation. They haven't been asked about this and they'll be sidelined.
I make the point, if you are a voter in the NT, where a lot of remote Aboriginal people, most affected by disadvantage, live, of course, they only get one vote in the referendum. But if you're an elite in Victoria or New South Wales, let's say, you get a state vote, you'll get a national vote, but you only get counted once in the NT. I guess I think there's a lot of political truth in Peter Dutton's assessment today that we're a long way from this referendum passing. But I have to say, given the money and the corporate weight and the government weight of the Yes campaign, they're a long way from losing. I mean, they haven't even started to roll out what we think will be television advertising, wall-to-wall messages about the voice, all the emotional pressure that's going to go through companies and schools. It's a long way to go.
Yeah, Peter, it has to be fought to the last vote. We, the no case, are heavily outgunned. But we do have the arguments. One argument is simple. In South Australia soon, Aboriginal people will get a second vote. So every other South Australian voter will become a second-class citizen. They'll get a vote once every 3 or perhaps 4 years, and an Aboriginal subgroup will get a vote once every 3 or 4 years, and then an extra vote and special access to Parliament, Cabinet and senior government officials. That's not fair.
Keep up the fight, Gary Johns. There's a lot of people who are looking to you to sort of lead the charge. Thank you for being with us tonight.